Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm checking out the Domino DM09 Plus, available for $60 online. So we got a couple things on the box. It's really all in the back. It says it's got a 1.54-inch IPS wide-fit arch touch screen. It's a 240 by 240 resolution with an HD camera, a 320 mAh battery, Android 4.3 Plus support, and iOS 7.0 support. Then it tells you everything else on the bottom, but I mean, we're just going to open this up right now and you'll see everything. So underneath here we got the screen protector. To download the Bluetooth app, there's this QR code, and then the user manual. We've got the smartwatch itself here, a cleaning cloth, then there's a 4-pin magnet to recharge the watch. So on the top you have the 0.08 megapixel camera, apparently it's 0.08. On the left side you have the 4-pin magnets to recharge it. On the right side, you've got a kind of knock or whatever you call it the Apple Watch has, and then the power button on here on the bottom, so you hold that for a few seconds and it should turn on. And then you have this back part where you can go ahead and you swipe it from on here, you pull downwards, and then from this side you pull upwards. And so there's a little bit of a kind of grip you can get. It's actually kind of hard to open, but once you do, you can go ahead and get to the nano SIM slot. So right now it's asking me if I want to power on Bluetooth first. This can be used as press it once, and it can be used as a yes, or it accepts it, whatever you want to call it. So it's not too hard in connecting. What you have to do first is download the Fondue Wear app, and then go into, and then once you're in this, you got to log in, create an account or something, and then click the plus button down here, and then click Bluetooth. And so right now I'm connected to the DM09 Plus, and yeah, you just click start search and DM09 Plus should show up. If it doesn't, you can go into the settings, so go from left to right, and then you can go into settings here, go into Bluetooth settings, and then turn your power on and visibility you can turn on. But now it's off since I'm connected. And the watch's band is also pretty flexible and smooth. The only thing I don't like is it's a little harder to put on than others. So it's like you've got this button there, and so to put it in, you kind of just have to put it through the hole here. And once you have it in, you can put this button and it can go into one of the holes. It can actually go into any hole, and then now it should be strapped. I kind of like the slim look of it. It definitely feels like a fitness watch more than anything. So there are 5 different clock interfaces you can pick from. My personal favorite was the first one you just saw because it goes well with the band, because it's like light green, yellow, and then black. And then to top it off, that one, you can also click the dialer button, so you get to the dialer and you can make a call. And so you can go ahead and call with when you have a SIM in, you can make a local call. Otherwise, I can make it with my iPhone. Do that in just a moment. The pedometer is here, so we can start it. It'll keep track of it. Also, I just got a few notifications, so you can click view, and then had a reminder, and then you can swipe right to delete that reminder on your phone. It doesn't delete it on your phone though; it just deletes it from the watch. And so with the steps, the pedometer is on, and it updates every minute or so. So that's how it kind of works. And you can also stop it, I guess, to preserve battery life if you want to, and you can press options to see your history, your goal, your height, weight. You can put all that in. Not going to waste too much time there. One thing I noticed is that if I play some video or some media on my phone, it'll just come on the phone speaker. Now, to be honest with you, I was playing around a little bit with a bit of the settings and stuff on here, my phone, to see if I would be able to get rid of it. But it doesn't seem like I can find it, how to like disable media through Bluetooth. I'm gonna make a call here real quick, so you can end the call. It shows you the number as well as the duration. Hey, what's going on? How? You alright, bro? You don't sound too good. So call quality was actually not as good as I had expected. The guy, there's actually a bit of static in the coming from the speaker. I'm not sure if it was the speaker itself or what, but when I switched to my iPhone speaker, I could hear him just fine. I tried FaceTime audio, and then a regular call, I could hear the kind of like staticky-ness, for lack of a better word. But the guy told me he didn't have any problems hearing me. He didn't mention anything, so I'm assuming he heard me just fine. But that's a little disappointing. You can swipe from left to right, I believe almost anywhere, to get to the other apps. Now, earlier you may have seen that they were in a mesh altogether, kind of like the Apple Watch interface, but it was just lagging a lot. This is actually a lot smoother. There's also 3 different themes you can pick from, which are basically just different wallpapers. So theme 1 just has no, just a black background. Theme 2 has that background. Theme 3 has more of a dark blue background. My personal favorite is theme 2, so we'll stick with that. There's also the remote notifier, so you can check your notifications on here. Then there's the sleep monitor. It's funny because all the watches, whenever there's even 1 second of sleep, it just says good. And then you can check your history, and it shows all that stuff. Then we've got the camera itself. It's a 0.08 megapixel camera. Let me take a picture here. So that actually looks like it's definitely blurry. Not the worst camera I've seen, not the best camera I've seen. I'll send it via Bluetooth on my phone, and it says unfinished for some reason. For some reason that wasn't able to save or transfer to the iPhone, which is also quite disappointing. I'm not sure why that is. And then you can go back into photos and take a look at it. It was a 240 by 240 resolution. The thing is, I just wanted to zoom in on it on my phone to get a better look at the quality. But either way, it's there if you need it. The only thing I can read is Canon. I can't really read the power shot on it. And there's my face there. When you go into options, you also can switch to the video recorder. There's more camera settings, so you can change the contrast, the flicker rate, and all that good stuff. I'm surprised it even has all that. Then you can change the image settings, so it can be at 240 by 240, or you can ramp it up to 640 by 480. And you can change the image quality from normal to good, or change it to lower, something even lower. There's also effect settings, so you can have grayscale, sepia, color invert, and sepia blue and green, or sepia. Then we've got the BT music, so you can go ahead and play the song. You can skip to the next one, and then raise or lower the volume. And then you also have to have a music playing in the background or something already on your phone. Otherwise, it wouldn't really work. Now we've got messaging. You can take a look at your inbox. Bluetooth is currently not supported. That's pretty unfortunate, but with the SIM it would work better. Then there's a dialer, anti-theft, so you can look for your phone. So if you click start, and there we have it. And you can click stop once you find your phone. There's also quick response, about, so if you want some more info about the DM09 Plus, take a look at it here. And one other thing I don't like is that when you click the back button, it takes you all the way back to the time instead of just going back onto the app page. There's also flight mode, motion, so you can have flip to mute incoming call, flip to mute alarm, wake up gesture, shake switch to main menu, then shake to answer the call. My favorite one is wake up gesture, so that basically means when it's off and you put your wrist up, it should turn on automatically just like that, and that's pretty responsive right there. Then we've got the pedometer. There's a bit of a delay like we showed before, and then you can go into history, goal, put your height and weight in. Then we've got the Bluetooth connection, the phone book. I want to see if it does show the phone book so I can sync it with my phone. Nothing seems to happen, I guess. So what I'm assuming from this is that iPhones aren't going to be as well supported as Android phones for this watch. The sedentary reminder, got file manager, so you can go into your files, you can look at the watch, and you can go into full photos. I mean, we were in photos earlier. We've got settings, so you can go into Bluetooth settings. You can have the power on, and it's going to stay on until you disconnect. You can change, look at the clock, time sync. In sound, you can change the alert type to a ring only, or ring and vibrate, or just vibrating, or mute the whole thing. And then you got 5 different ringtones as well as 5 different notification tones. Then in volume, you can change the actual volume of everything. And so it does get relatively loud, so that's one good thing about the speaker. But again, the only unfortunate thing is that it was a little harder to hear people talking on the phone. In display, we can, like I showed before, we can have the 4 apps or the Smart Style, which was basically like the Apple Watch mesh. You can have, when we go back, and that's just you can see how just laggy that is, how much that lags. You can zoom in and out, so that's another thing. I think it just makes it lag more, but the more you zoom in, the better, because it becomes a little smoother. But the 4-app style is a lot better in my opinion. We've got the brightness down here, so it can go all the way up to 5. And you can actually see this outside in sunlight. I actually went outside. It's barely readable, but it's there. You can definitely see. I was definitely able to see the time at the very least. Then you can have a screen timeout up to a minute. Just gonna leave it at 15 seconds to preserve battery life. You can check your units, so you can change it from metric to imperial. Got magic voice on here, so I'm assuming that's for Siri. Flight modes here, and then international, so you can change the language, and I guess you can have the name display a little different. You can uninstall some apps. I don't know how you'd install it, maybe connect it to your computer, that's what I'm assuming. You can do reset and about. Then there's the clock. It goes back into kind of like the settings. It's like a quicker way to access it, along with volume, the language. Then there's calculator here. Yeah, the keys are relatively small. It's going to be a little hard to press. Easier than the, I feel like it's easier than the DZ09 watch though. Don't hold me accountable for that, but it just feels like it. I could be wrong on that though. And there's remote capture. It can take your phone and capture the camera, so mine has to be unlocked first. It's funny because for some reason, when I click iOS, it just raises the volume. Maybe you have to already be in the camera app and then try to take a screenshot. Yep, that's basically what it is. And then you can use Siri. What's the weather going to be like today?
It's currently clear and 80 degrees and mild. Temperatures are heading down from 80 degrees this afternoon to 62 tonight.
Okay, so it tells you that much, so you can have this in your pocket, I'm assuming, and then you can just speak to Siri that way. I guess that is actually a really useful thing. The only thing is the speaker is starting to sound more distorted. I'm sure you've heard that, but I've noticed that just now. I'm picking up on it a little more. So it's not just with the talking or calling. I don't know if it's just my device. Then there's sound recorder, so you can record your sound. So if I want to record myself and hear myself how I talk or how someone else may hear me on a phone conversation, so it saves that. Then we can go into play. That's not bad at all. So you can hear yourself relatively well. Then there's the image viewer, video recorder, video player, the stopwatch. Relatively simple and straightforward. That's the stopwatch, and then you can have power saver on. Now this can last for a few hours. I think I left it on all day, and it's just enough to last a whole day, I want to say. But that's just kind of an estimate. Then you can check your call logs here apparently. Let's see if it'll show the Bluetooth call logs. I guess it won't. Then you can set up an alarm here too. So we've got the calendar. I don't know what UV is exactly. Let me test that out. So two things. I guess this tests out how much UV rays are coming at you right now. And I'm not sure how it estimates that. Maybe it's from the camera itself. I don't know. But it says it's normal in here. I'm inside the house, so that makes sense. And then the other thing I noticed is when we disconnect it from Bluetooth, the sound is coming back from the phone now, not the actual watch anymore. Then you can change brightness, the main menu style you can change again, and then you finally have Vibrator. And Vibrator is basically just like you just turn this on and it just vibrates on your hand. I don't know what that's useful for, but hey, that vibrator's there if you need it. Overall, I'm going to say this is a decent watch for the price, a solid choice, especially going for $60 at the time of this video. Now, assuming that the speaker problem or the issue, you know, the distorted volume or the statickiness, whatever you want to call it, is just on my unit. So if it's just my unit, it's definitely worth a buy if that's your price range. I really can't think of any other ones at the time of this video, but I'll have links down below as to where you can get it. And leave a like if this video helped out, and subscribe if you want to see more.